What's up, everybody? Welcome to our very first episode of the Retail Warzone one-on-one. I'm extremely excited to start this series. It's all about having people come on and tell their stories individually, totally 100% anonymous. If it's something that you feel like you want to do, if you have a story to share, you can contact us on Twitter at Generation Void. My DMs are always open. Having said that, I cannot think of a better guest to have for our inaugural episode. In case you've been living under a rock, if you frequent Twitter or you frequent Reddit, you had to have seen the viral text of the individual who was texted on their day off about their performance the prior day and how that conversation culminated with this individual quitting their job on the spot. So, having said that, I am very proud and honored to have Reddit user hestolemysmile on the show today. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, hi, Steve. I appreciate you having me on. The Reddit response has been beyond overwhelming. I'm so happy to see so many people standing up for themselves and willing to take charge of their lives again. It's
Absolutely.
it's been an incredible experience, and I can't get over how great the Reddit and antiwork communities are. They're just full of wonderful people.
I agree. And as of today, I checked it before, we did this. You were sitting at 242,000 upvotes, I believe. 12.4 thousand comments made the front page. And that's impressive, man. And I think that you kind of started something because now we're seeing other people kind of do the same, which is cool. And that's something to kind of plant your flag in, and you'll carry that with you for the rest of your days. Having said that, obviously there's a little bit of backstory that got you that point. So kind of tell us a little bit about where you were, how you got there, and how this wound up the way it did.
Well, Steve, I used to have a higher level job. I was a VPO of a restaurant group, and I ended up crushing a couple bones in my foot. And from then on, I mean, I couldn't walk. It was the two sesamoid bones are the ones that act as the fulcrum for your big toe. So I mean, every step was just those little pieces, fragments of bone tearing into my feet. I eventually got let go from my job, my big boy job, and we ended up losing our house, having to move across country, confronted some childhood abuse, just kind of settled myself on the bottom for a little while. And I reached out to Reddit for help just to know I wasn't crazy. And and man, the response for that was overwhelming. That was almost 2 years ago. Since then, we have worked on bettering ourselves. And I went into therapy. I jumped from a couple temp jobs here and there. I found this one after the pandemic kind of, I guess, calmed down for lack of a better word. But when things started opening again, I wanted to work somewhere that I had little contact with people, and I thought warehouse would be great because it's just, you don't really interact with anyone.
Right.
It's 10 or 12 hours a day, and you're at your station or you're pulling a cart around and put your headphones on and you zone out and just do a menial job. And the pay wasn't awful. Cost of living here is kind of high, but we have very reduced expenses, so it was all right. It was all right. But working there sucked, if I'm going to be honest. You're very micromanaged in that kind of environment. They come and speak to you often about your rate, whether you're doing well or not. If you're doing well, they're like, hey, you're within the defined parameters, so good job, but don't fall below those, or we're going to have to come mess with you some more. The breaks are just ridiculous. You have like this siren that comes on and lets you know, hey, it's break time, but you can't leave your station until the siren comes on, and you have to be back to your station before the siren sounds again. So
Wow.
I mean, you're talking about this giant ass warehouse. I mean, these things are huge, and if you're working at the back of it and you're trying to go to the break room, it takes at least a good 4.5 minutes to walk to the front. four and a half minutes to walk the back. So you got, 5, 6 minutes of your 15-minute break that's actually usable. If you want to grab a snack and go to the bathroom, you got to decide which one's more important.
Wow. So were you working 12-hour shifts?
Yeah, I did 12s. I did occasional 10s as mandatory overtimes.
What kind of break schedule did you have?
Uh, 3 15s on a 12-hour day, 2 15s on a 10-hour day with a half an hour unpaid lunch for
Wow.
either.
That's terrible.
It's a long it's a long day to be in a warehouse, and that if you don't wear gloves, it tears your hands up. Um, the air in a warehouse is so incredibly dry. I
Yeah.
mean, so dry. It's like the cardboard just sucks the humidity out of the air. So I mean, you feel like you work in a desert all day.
I know you referenced UPH, so I'm assuming that's units per hour.
That is. It's
And
it's not an actual package per hour. That's an item in a package per hour.
but judging by your post, your numbers were pretty damn good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Right.
I'm going to do it well.
So this
That's
supervisor that reached out to you, was this a person who had always been kind of overbearing and kind of a problem, or is it just something that was, changed kind of recently?
I mean, we'd have like these little morning get-togethers where they'd give us the news or let us know how many back orders they had in the log for the day, and he was just the one that always reiterated, "Hey, you need to make sure you're at your station until the bell rings and back before it rings again." Just the micromanaging, just that kind of attitude,
Right.
which is just that kind of industry.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not a person, you're a number. You're only worth what your numbers are, and apparently you're not even worth that.
Yeah. Apparently not, judging by the text message, because you obviously did quite well, and I think one of the things that you said in there that was most important to me was the fact that you hit those remarkable numbers, but it wasn't good enough because you weren't uncomfortable while you were doing it, and that says a lot.
Man, that shit irritated me so much. I was at home, and I'd made dinner. We were sitting down to eat, and I get that garbage on my phone. I talked to my wife about it for just a minute. She was like, there are jobs everywhere. We got some money saved. This isn't that big a deal. I was like, you know what, you're right. Let's just sever these ties, and we will find something better.
Well, I know
And that was
that
that.
the supervisor, kind of insinuated that you were being disrespectful, and I find it highly disrespectful that if they had an issue with you, why couldn't they wait to talk to you till you went back to work? Why they got to bother you on your day off? That's your time. It's not
Yeah,
theirs.
no, no, and that's an increasingly bad problem with everyone. I mean, we all have cell phones now,
Hmm.
and you got to have you have to leave a number for work. They might legitimately need to get a hold of you for some reason. And I've had bosses in the past call me and ask for help covering, and back when I was a boss, I would do the same thing. But if the answer's no, then it's no. It's that
Right.
simple. It's not anything to make anyone feel bad about.
Well, I find it
And
extremely unprofessional that, all right, let's say, if you've got an issue with an employee, I mean, that's a face to face thing. That's not,
yeah,
text somebody. And I think, as you said, with it being an increasing problem, I think we have a lot of managers and supervisors out there that hide behind text messages because there's no emotion to them. You don't know, would this person actually say this to your face, versus hiding behind a telephone, so to speak. And, I was always taught that, texting was not an official means of communication. But like you said, everybody's got phones now. And, some people, I think, kind of overreach a little bit with how they use that because there's a time and place for everything. And any kind of disciplinary or any kind of conversation you want to have regarding somebody's performance or the job they're doing, or whatnot, that can wait. Don't bother somebody on their day off, and because they did
yeah,
that and how they approached it, now they've got to replace you.
yeah, exactly. I mean, corrective action should be on company time.
Yep.
Period. Period.
Absolutely.
That's it's unacceptable to contact someone at home on their time to gripe at them about something they did at work.
Yes.
I'm
100%.
not going to get I'm not going to get I'm not going to get paid for that conversation.
Nope. And and just think about, the thousands of people that get text messages like that, didn't do what you did. I mean, think about the fact that, let's say you're an employee and you get that text early in the morning, on your day off, and all of a sudden you have this sense of dread, that ruins your entire day because you've got to go back the next day and face whatever garbage they're wanting to talk about, and
Yeah,
that's unfair,
exactly.
so
Yeah, it's yeah. You shouldn't get "we need to talk" text from your boss. That's
no.
uh that's reserved for relationships.
Yep, exactly. So, the outpouring has been amazing. I mean, I cannot imagine how many messages and how many, you know, emails, all the communication that you must have gotten just completely bombarded.
Oh man, my inbox is just so full. I've been sorting my way through the DMs. That's just a little bit more manageable. I mean, 12,000 comments is just too. That's just too much.
Yeah.
But a thousand or so DMs, I can work on that. I can work on that. So I'm trying to answer 20, 30 a day just to thank people for their support, read their stories. That's really the best part. And what's really been awesome has been so many Redditors have reached out to me to offer me jobs.
Wow.
I mean, like all over the damn country too. Nobody in our area, of course, but it's 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 nice to know that there are people that get it and that are still trying to hire people.
That's great.
Whoever's offering me that job knows where I stand. They understand my point of view, and they're still saying, "Hey, you know what? You should come to work. You should come to work for me because I don't act that way." There's an employer like that for anyone that needs it. They can find it. You might have to jump some jobs. You might have to look around, but they are good people to work for because you don't work for them. You work with them.
Now, would you say that like the overall response that you got was positive? I mean, I'm sure you got some like people trying to be dicks or whatnot about it, but did you get
Uh,
much hate for it?
a little bit. I wouldn't even say a full 1%. I mean, there's been a handful of DMs that were wishing me very ill, and
Wow.
I mean, it's just whatever. I wouldn't take advice from those people, so I'm not going to take any criticism either.
Got you. Well, I do want to give, while we're on here, I got to give Irish Connection a huge shout out. He was the one. I was sitting at work and I get this message, via Twitter saying, "Hey, there's this thing, and would you like to talk to this person?" And he did the legwork to get a hold of you. And once again, I want to say how much I appreciate you taking your time to do this. It's always cool to hear people's stories. It's kind of like you said offline, the amount of people who've reached out to you telling you their stories. That's an amazing thing.
Oh man, every time I read a story that somebody has directly messaged me saying, "Hey, that resonated with me, and I'm not going to be treated this way anymore. I'm actively going to find myself new employment, and I am going to be gone from this place in a week. I am leaving. I am leaving. Thank you." And I can't say how good that makes me feel.
Well,
I just can't.
it does. I mean, I've gotten like, a few brief messages, here or there, thank you for what you guys are doing. It means, that kind of stuff means a whole lot more than, the notoriety that goes with, the situation that you're in is, you on the surface, it's a viral thing, but underneath you're helping people, and, like we said, it's therapeutic in a way.
It is. It is. It feels good. I mean, I feel like I'm living through other people too as they leave their crap jobs and move on to better opportunities. And I couldn't be more proud of them.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
and it's also it's cool knowing that you have become, an agent for change.
I hope it keeps rolling,
Me
and
too.
the more people that realize that they have more value, and there are employers out there that will treat you decently. The more that happens, then the more those employers will have to spring up. The
Exactly.
bad employers will have to up their game, or they won't have anybody to man their stores. They won't have anybody to talk down to because everyone else will be at better jobs.
Exactly. And that's a great message. All right, my friend. I don't want to take up too much time, in your day. I know you got things to do. The one thing I would like to ask you, though, is if there is one core message from all of this that everybody who's seen the text message and whatnot, what would you like people to take away from this?
Guys, know your value. Just don't be treated like you're less than human. We are all better than that. We don't deserve this kind of treatment. We don't deserve to be talked down to, or talked to like we're toddlers. You're a grown adult. You're working for a wage. You're not working for your life. You work to live. You don't live to work. Simple as that.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I sure as hell couldn't have found a better way to end it off. So once again, he stole my smile. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Steve. You're good people.
And so are you. You keep doing what you're doing, and good luck to you in your future endeavors. And we'll keep in touch and make sure that you're doing okay.
Well, I'll be looking forward to reading more articles from you, Steve.
We out here doing the work. We trying. So, having said that, everybody, like I said, this is the first one. I think this was a great way to start. Thank you for watching. If you have not, subscribe to the channel, go ahead and do that. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when we have more of these things go up. Other than that, keep your eyes wide open because there's more to come. Thanks, everybody.